Hello and welcome back to ENG and my name is Bharati. The topic in this video is changing active voice to passive voice in future perfect tense. Changing active voice to passive voice in future perfect tense. Let us see the change first in the declarative types of sentences. Structure of verb in passive voice. So what the structure of verb will be when the future perfect tense is changed to passive voice. So the structure will be either of the modal verbs. We'll take example as will or shall plus have. This have is used for the perfect tenses and been is the be verb for the perfect tense. Then we use the past participle of the main verb. So we use either will or shall or either of the modal verbs plus have. This have is used for both singular as well as plural. For singular as well as plural plus been, which is the be verb for the passive voice for the perfect tenses plus past participle. This will is used for the second person and the third person pronoun and shall is used for the first person pronoun. Now we'll just see the examples. The first sentence, they will have written the report. So they is the subject. Will have written is the verb. This will denotes the future form. Have denotes the perfect tense and written is the past participle of write. The report, what did they write? Report. So this is the object. Now the object of the active voice will become the subject of the passive voice. So the passive voice will begin with the object of the active voice. So the object is the report. The report. This will is used to denote the future tense. We use have to denote the perfect tense and been to denote the be form of verb. Then we change it into passive voice. Then written is the past participle. By them. Them we change the pronoun they to them in the passive voice when it is changing to the object as per the rule of change of pronouns. This by is used to denote the doer of the action. So the passive voice is the report will have been written by them. So this will have been written together is the verb. Next, you shall have received the gift. You is the subject. You is the first person pronoun. So we use shall have received the gift. Now the gift is the object. Shall have received is the verb. The gift is the object. The object in the active voice will become the subject of the passive voice. So the gift, here the gift is the noun. So we use will. Have we used to denote the perfect tense and been to denote the be form of verb in the perfect tenses and received is the past participle of receive. So will have been received is the verb. We write you, which is the subject in the active voice. There is no change in you, so we write you, and by is used to denote the doer of the action. So the passive voice is the gift will have been received by you. Next sentence, I shall have raised funds for them. Here I is considered to be a plural form and it is the first person pronoun, so we use shall. So have raised, this is the perfect tense, future perfect tense verb. What did you raise? Funds. So this is the object. So this is an adjunct, so we'll just leave them. Now, the object in the active voice will become the subject of the passive voice. So we begin the passive voice with funds. Funds is the noun here, so we use will and have to denote the perfect tense and been as the be verb. Then we use the past participle of raise, which is raised. So will have been raised is the verb. I will change to me when it becomes the object, and by is used to denote the doer of the action. For them, we just write in the same place where it is in the active voice. So the passive voice is funds will have been raised by me for them. Next, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are sentences which ask a question. So we can begin the interrogative sentence with an auxiliary verb. That auxiliary verb may be a modal verb, either of the modal verb. We have 9 modal verbs. So with either of the modal verbs, we can begin a question. Would he have returned the book? So would is the modal verb. He is the subject. So for the future tense, we use only have for either singular or plural. Returned is the past participle of return. What did he return? Book. So this is the object. Now, when we begin a question with the auxiliary verb, in the passive voice too, we use the same auxiliary verb and we begin the question with the same auxiliary verb. So we begin the sentence with would. Now we bring the object of the active voice as the subject of the passive voice. Would the book have? Have is used to denote the perfect tense. Then been is the be form of verb and returned is the past participle of return. Would the book have been returned by him? He will change to him in the passive voice. So the passive voice is would the book have been returned by him? Next sentence. This is a WH question. Who? Who should have done this? I've already told if the question begins with who, in the passive voice it will change to by whom. Who will change to by whom. Now should is there as the auxiliary verb, so we use the same should. By whom? Should. So here should have done is the verb, and what should they have done? This. So this is the object. So this will come here. By whom should this? Then we use the verb that is have, which denotes the perfect tense, and the be verb is been, and the past participle of do is done. So the passive voice is by whom should this have been done? So this marks the end of changing active voice to passive voice in future perfect tense. To sum up, we learnt what future perfect tense is and how to change active voice to passive voice in future perfect tense in the declarative sentences and the interrogative sentences. I hope you found this video useful. If you find this video useful, kindly like, share, subscribe and hit on the bell button. Also drop your comments in the comment box. Thanks for watching.